Welcome students to medical coding. This is chapter 1 and your intro. So chapter 1 is the language of coding. And so in this chapter, we're going to actually talk about both diagnostic and procedural coding. Generally, we're going to split that out, but the first couple chapters, we need to lay the groundwork, the foundation, as they say. So the 4 purposes of coding are these: medical necessity, statistical analysis, reimbursement, and resource allocation. Your book goes into more detail on those. And by using a code instead of the written word, we're actually going to be able to convey exactly what happened during that patient encounter or patient visit and why it occurred. So just to be clear, in this course, you are not going to be a coding specialist. You will get the intro, the basics of coding. And it is my hope that by the time you finish, you'll be able to recognize the codes that you should know in a medical setting. With the help of your biology and your medical terminology courses that you hopefully have already taken, you can interpret these terms. So let's go on and see what the textbook has to say. There are these really interesting little pieces called coding bites on the side margin of your textbook pages. They're very, very helpful. And as I was looking through it, I thought, be really cautious about reading each and every one of those and digest them well. On page 2 is the first one, and I want to point this one out. It says, a diagnosis explains why the patient requires the attention of a healthcare provider, and a procedure code, on the other hand, is going to explain what the physician or the healthcare provider did for the patient. So remember this. This is one of the few things that I'm going to ask you to memorize. The why and the what, okay? Why for the diagnostic portion and what for the procedural portion. So those are questions you want to keep in your mind. So diagnostic coding, now that we know that includes the why, it's also better known as the chief complaint. In other words, what's the reason that the patient came in to begin with? Why do they need to see someone today? So the physician's notes will explain this well. And we can now use the 10th edition. So we have what's called ICD-10-CM. That's the International Classification of Diseases, and it's edition 10. We just started that actually year and a half, 2 years ago. It was supposed to start in 2013 and it kept being delayed. But it is hugely different from the version 9. So we'll explain in class why that's so different. Thankfully, there's an alphabetic index, oh, I love that, in which the diagnostic descriptions are identified. They're listed by condition or eponym. Now, I don't know if you know what an eponym is, but it's named after a person. So let's say Lou Gehrig's disease would be a good example. It's named after that person. So that's an eponym. There's also a tabular list, and that's going to help us to be certain that we're choosing the correct code. Now, we never, ever, ever code from just the alphabetic index. We must look it up there and then go to the tabular list so that we can be sure that we've selected the appropriate code. So in some cases, we'll even have tables that we can use, and you'll see the different tables. Not too many, but you will see those. And now we can talk about, or now that we know the condition, we can decide the action. So in other words, what do we need to do for this patient? How do we need to treat the patient? And we call that procedures. So we use the CPT, the Current Procedural Terminology Manual, which is put out every year by the AMA. We use that for our outpatient coding. Now you might think, well, outpatient? Okay, inpatient. Well, inpatient is in the hospital, but outpatient is everything else. Every ambulatory setting that you could imagine, including long-term care facilities or acute care facilities or clinics or an urgent care facility. So just remember, anything other than inpatient is outpatient or ambulatory. So we're going to use the CPT manual to look those up. Okay, and moving on. So you'll become familiar with both of those, with the ICD-10-CM and the CPT manuals. And you're also going to get a brief introduction in this chapter to HCPCS. It's said HCPCS. It's HCPCS. Level 2 procedure code. So sometimes we're looking and we can't find the procedure code in the regular CPT manual. So perhaps it's something that it's a supply that we need to look up in the HCPCS manual. So we'll talk about that. And the general rule of thumb is look first in the CPT manual and then second in the HCPCS manual. So now it's time for you to view your PowerPoint. And there's great news. In this class, we have a brand new book. This is the 2019 publishing book, which has given you the option to view your PowerPoints in every imaginable way. So feel free to view it in whatever way pleases you or in all of them. And I will see you soon in lab.